Welcome to the results of my Vitagene DNA test, where they take certain genetic markers that are common in certain parts of the world and they match your DNA to them. So without further ado, let's get the report open so that we can take a look at that. Now, first of all, you're going to see that I'm 99.97% European. No surprise there. 85.27% comes from the British Isles. No surprise there. That's over around the United Kingdom. Now, my last name is Bannister, which is an English last name, and my dad's ancestry, I have traced back some all the way into England, so that is not a surprise. Also, if you look here, you will see that Eastern European accounts for 8.6%. Now, again, that is no surprise. If we're looking at Eastern Europe, that would be the area around Germany, which is not a surprise because my grandmother's maiden name is Kleinpeter. I also have other relatives that come over from Germany. And then there is the southeastern European portion of my blood, which is 6.11%. Now, some of you might have guessed France, seeing as how I am from South Louisiana, and you would be correct. My mother's maiden name is Thibodeau. There are also other French names mixed in with my ancestry. Now, there weren't many surprises with this report, but there was about 0.03% of my DNA that cannot be matched directly with what they're saying here. And what's interesting about this is Ancestry won't enlarge this part of the map for some reason, but I will go ahead and do it for you. And what is interesting is if we look at the map, we can see that part of my ancestry down here comes from South America. It is native markers are Native American, and if you look at this portion here, you will see that you can pass over areas like Venezuela, and you don't go all the way to the tip of that. It's this area right in between these last three countries here. Now, if we pass over these first three areas right here, that one's out, the last one's out. That leaves us with French Guatemala, which is also very interesting considering that I have French ancestry. That makes that highly probable. So that could mean that with regard to French Guatemala, that could mean that some of my ancestors from France went down there, settled, and then migrated to the United States. It could also mean that somebody with the markers from there moved to France and intermarried into that French line, or that somebody more recent came up from French Guatemala and married into my family tree somewhere more recently. But that was the one part that was kind of a surprise to me, was this area around French Guatemala right here with those Native American markers being in play. So what about the dietary portion of it? Well, I will take a little more time to look over that, and I'll get into that part of it with you later. I hope you've enjoyed this. God bless you and have a great day. That is my ancestry according to genetics.